everyone. This is Pastor Van on Ask Pastor Van. On Ask Pastor Van, I take time to answer some of life's most difficult questions about God, the Bible, Christianity, and life in general. I'm excited to connect with you tonight. Don't forget to like our page. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. If you also have your questions, kindly send them to askpastorvan@gmail.com or drop it in the comment section of this live feed. But welcome once again to Ask Pastor Van. Today I have this question that I'm to respond to. It says that God declared that thou shalt not murder. Why is it that God ordered some of his servants to kill innocent children? God declared that thou shalt not murder. Why is it that God ordered some of his servants to kill innocent children? This is an interesting question because when you read through the Old Testament, you come across different sections, like the times of Joshua, where God asked Joshua to kill some people, or God asked Joshua in an act of war to destroy a particular nation. We see it during the times of Samuel, we see it during the times of Saul, we see it during the times of David. And so the question is that if God orders that, or God ordains that murder shouldn't be committed, why should he order some of his servants to kill children, including innocent children? My first response to this is that God is the author and the source of life. God is the author and the source of life. And so when God decides to take away the life of somebody, God has not killed, God has not committed murder. If something belongs to you and you take it away, you have not stolen, you've not committed theft. In the same case, God is the author of life. Every single human being walking on the surface of the earth is living as a result of the fact that God has given the person life, and God can choose to take his life from you at any point in time. And when God does that, he's not committed any evil, he's not committed any sin. Number two, what determines right or wrong? What determines good or evil? God is a definition of good and evil. We can't have a definition of right and wrong or good and evil apart from God. He is the definition of that. And as a result, he determines what is good per time and what is evil per time. So at any point in time, he can decide that option A should be pursued, option B should be pursued. In the cases of the Old Testament, before somebody jumps and says that, wow, God is capricious, or God, we can't really know God and follow him, let me make this very clear. In the Old Testament, the times that God has sent his servants to destroy a group of people has actually been acts of judgment. God passes judgments on people, and usually when God passes judgment on people, it's because they've grown in their wickedness, they've grown in their rebellion, they've grown in their idolatry. In the cases of the Canaanites, in the cases of the Amorites and Amalekites, that God instructed Saul to kill all of them, including children. These were men and women who were committing all sorts of idolatrous acts that when we hear it today, we'll be screaming. One typical act would be to offer their children in fire for their gods. So they put their children in fire as a way of sacrifice, alive for their gods. And these acts had gone on for hundreds of years and thousands of years, and it was time God pronounced judgment on them. And God bringing judgment on people, he has different ways of doing that. One way will be that he will send his servants and say that the judgment for these people is that they are not fit to live again. Their wickedness and their rebellion and idolatrous acts have increased so much that that must be ended. And as a result, he sends his servants to go and do that. And sometimes God instructs that including children be taken care of. That is because the whole land is polluted, the whole land is damaged with wickedness. Those children grow up perpetuating the sins of their fathers, and it's a record that is there. And so we ought not to start pointing fingers at God and blaming God. We would see in the book of Jonah that God wanted to bring destruction to the city of Nineveh, and as a result, God sent a servant Jonah to go and preach to them. The Bible says that when he preached to them and they genuinely repented of their sins, God withheld punishment from them. God did not punish them until after 100 years, when the people who were spared, their children, came on perpetrating the sins of their fathers, in so much that God realized that enough is enough, and he brought waste to that city. And so God has not taken lives, or God has not killed innocent people, or God has not sent his servants to commit murder when he has instructed in his word that murder is a sin. God is the author of life. When he takes life away from you, he has not committed evil. And number two, God as a judge of the universe and as a determiner of that which is right and wrong must pass judgment when sin or evil or wickedness abounds. And sometimes he does that by sending his servants. As a way of conclusion, let me mention that in this New Testament era, or in our day and age, the Bible has clearly demonstrated, or when you read the Bible carefully, the conclusion you arrive at is that that is not the means of punishment for our times again, because God has given everyone opportunity in our days to repent through his son Jesus Christ, that as many as who believe in him, he will give them power to become children of God. And therefore, in our day and age, he doesn't send a specific person or a specific nation to exact judgment on his behalf. He has reserved judgment for the last day. God richly bless you for watching Ask Pastor Van today. I'm glad you took time off to watch Ask Pastor Van. I know it has been a blessing to you. Tell your friends, tell your family members, let them follow, let them like this page. And don't forget, if you have questions, send your questions to me now at askpastorvan@gmail.com. God richly bless you.